on this episode of the Black Boss Ladies platform.
I think success is doing what you absolutely love.
Our viewers out there need to take heed of that.
Yes.
Like sometimes you're bouncing around, this thing isn't working for you, but you could be on the road to that thing.
Because success is not a straight path.
No.
It's a lot of back and forth.
It is.
Welcome to the Black Boss Ladies platform, the place where legacies live.
Welcome to the Black Boss Ladies platform. I'm Julia Myers, and I'm here with my co-host Tiffany Lee.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Lee, and today we have a true Black Boss Lady. I met Miss Janelle Stowers of Stowers Realty Group, I don't know, a few months ago, and she took her whole company out on a retreat. So she had several people. It was a very nice place. She flew folks in to talk to her company about commercial real estate, about being a realtor. We'll talk about what a realtor is versus a realtor, and also about luxury real estate. So it was very nice, and I just could not wait to get her on the show. So please welcome Miss Janelle Stowers.
Welcome to the BBL platform.
Thank you very much.
So before we jump in, because Tiffany just gave an amazing overview of how she met you, and we're going to dig into your background. Before we jump into that, can you just give our audience what you think your definition of success is?
Success. Okay. I think success is doing what you absolutely love and getting the highest form of pleasure from that. So, you know, some people, of course, equate that to money and, you know, how much money you're bringing in. And if money makes you happy, then that's great.
Yeah.
But, you know, just doing something that you absolutely love, it doesn't require much energy of you. And it's something that you are dedicated and true to.
Awesome. I love that definition. Even as you're talking, I think one of the things is that the energy it does require of you, you love it so much, it doesn't even feel like that you're doing it. So that's that pleasure part. So would you say you get that in real estate?
Absolutely. I kind of fell into real estate.
I was just going to tell us how, because I 100% understand how that goes.
Yes.
So give us a little bit about how you fell into real estate.
You know what? I went to school to be an accountant.
Okay.
But one day we were purchasing a home, and I felt like we were going through this situation that we didn't know anything about. So I felt like we were not informed, and we were just being pulled along. And I said, let me research this and check this out. And I did that. I researched, you know, real estate, how you become an agent, you know, what's the home buying process like. And all of a sudden I went to school, I took an exam, and here we are almost 20 years later.
Oh, wow. I guess that's where my life is headed, because that's almost the exact same story that I have.
Really? I think a lot of viewers probably feel that way because, you know, oftentimes when you're in that home buying process, you don't feel like they give you enough information. Like you feel like you just kind of going along with the flow. And
I think a lot of it probably has to do too is that an agent forgets what it's like to be in that new home buyer's experience, right? So they're like, this is what you do, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they forget to educate the home buyer. Because they could be great agents, but they just forget, like, my client doesn't know that this is part or this is normal. So
and I was just inquisitive about it. I'm like, wait a minute, like they're telling us all of these different things, and you know, we got money coming up and situations coming up, and I'm like, let me put a pause on this and see, you know, what.
So you didn't go through with the purchase?
We did. It was a rocky purchase. Okay. But we did go through with that purchase, and I think I owned that house for like 13 or 14 years. But it was like, okay, I want to make this should have been an enjoyable situation.
That part right there.
And it was not.
And the way that you treat your agents, I can see that that's the type of work that you do. You make that experience enjoyable for your customers, because I was like, these agents in here, she's fine. The food got the food coming in for them. They got a pool out in the back. I'm like, I kind of want to be one of these.
Look, I want to be a real estate agent. I want
want to be part of Stowers Realty Group.
I love my team. You are only as good as your team. So in the last, couple of years, I have learned this. So you treat your people good, they treat you good. So
that's good.
I love
So
that.
when you went to real estate school, when you say I'm going to go into and figure out like what does this mean and see if it's something I want to do, were you an accountant at the time?
No. So that accounting journey didn't quite work out.
It never worked out.
Oh, it didn't quite work out.
So what were you doing?
You know what? I think I was just a mom at home.
Don't say just.
Well, I mean, that's a huge job. Hardest job
and
ever.
I've had a lot of jobs.
But a brand new mom, just figuring it out. So I did finish school. I got my business degree, but just trying to figure it out. I worked, different jobs. I think I was a tax preparer.
Okay.
I think I worked directory assistants. Remember 411?
Oh, wow.
We used to call and say, hey, look for McDonald's on Grand. So I was one of those people.
Oh my God, I forgot there was a 411.
I was one of those people like, hello, welcome to Nextel.
And this was an MBA you were getting, right?
I have an MBA, but at the time that was just bachelor mode. So I was getting my bachelor's in business, and then I went on to get my MBA, and I also have an MEd. But it was just, trying to figure it out.
Degrees.
Yes.
Let me say that, I find that interesting because it seems like this is a common process for a lot of the successful women on the show, where it's kind of like, I'm here. I know Julia's even had this same kind of process, and it seems like sometimes what they say, you have to kiss a lot of ugly ducks to get to get to the prince. Yes. And it seems like that's what a lot of women do. So our viewers out there need to take heed of that. Yes. Like sometimes you're bouncing around, this thing isn't working for you, but you could be on the road to that thing.
And what I've learned looking back, because if you follow me long enough, like my auntie said, it's been like this. Like I've owned a storefront before. I had girls where I did urban burlesque shows. I even sold jewelry at one point. I think what's happening though, because it looked like you're kissing a lot of ugly frogs, but I also think you are gaining a level of clarity and a lot of lessons.
Exactly. Yes.
Because when I look at what I'm doing now, if I never owned a store, I wouldn't know what I know right.
Absolutely.
If I didn't hustle jobs for my girls out in the market to get them paid, I wouldn't know how to do that for my agents. Yes. So I think it looks, so if you're on that road and you're like, man, I just did this, none of it seemed like it makes sense, but once you keep going, you'll be able to connect the dots, because success is not a straight path.
No.
It's a lot of back and forth.
It is. I think so. In looking at all of the careers that I've had or jobs or careers or whatever, I've taken a piece of each one of those. And it is
the skills that you learn.
Skills. And just not having to always have a plan. You know how sometimes we set out and we have that plan of what, your parents want you to do or what society says you should do. And you're like, you know what? That's not what I want to do today.
That's not what I want to do.
That's not what I want to do.
And having enough courage to be okay with that, because a lot of people think, oh, what are they going to say about me now? Oh, here she comes with that thing. As if you have to be comfortable enough to not care what that backlash is going to be like.
And you have to be brave enough to leave the thing that's not working.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
big one.
That's a tough one, especially with pride and us black women being
pride and money.
And money.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we're staying at this place because it's paying the bills.
But you had a lot of courage, because I always think about you and your journey too. Like, you walked away from a space that was paying bills, and some people retire from places like that.
Yeah. I feel like I've done a lot of things that I have to do to move forward, and I still do. And it's just the truth, because, even starting this podcast, right? When we start the podcast, and it's like, you got to step out on faith, but then you also have to do some of those other things to make sure you have money to do those things.
You still have to and let me tell you about that eating, because I found myself working at a salon, okay? But I was there 6 days a week. I was their best receptionist, okay? Because you got to eat in the pursuit of building your dream. So you go into school and you're like, oh, I'm going into real estate. You get your license. What does that journey look like?
That journey. So I was a part-time agent for probably 8.5, 9 years.
Okay.
And so in the midst of that, I'm still hustling. I'm still doing, you know, all sorts of things. I'm still preparing people's taxes. I'm writing resumes for people. I tell everybody my talents are I can read and write. I can't dance. I can't sing. But if you need me to read something or write something for you, I can handle it. So just, you know, part-time in school, still going through college, raising my boys, and just, you know, hustling every day, every day.
And when you said part-time, I don't know about you, but I almost feel like when you're doing a job in real estate, you really ain't never really doing it part-time.
True.
Because they call in the morning, they call in the afternoon, they call at nighttime. So I'm working 2 jobs. Like I'm doing this real estate and I'm still doing all these other things for 8 or 9 years, you say.
And I say part-time because it was just me and I wasn't leading a team.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, you know, these last few, I think I've been a broker since 2015. So, you know, since 2015, I've led a team. And so before then I was considered part-time, but I guess not now. You know, full-time.
Yeah. So I guess what made you decide to take that step?
To say, oh, well, you know what, just wanting to be an innovator. So I was with a brokerage that I love. It was a small boutique brokerage, and my broker, we were from 2 different walks of life. You know, he was much older, and I'm wanting to do all of these new things that are coming out and hitting the scene. And he's like, you know, let's just slow roll. You know, and to me,
we gotta have like the same life. Like that's why I'm over here laughing.
I'm being happy to her.
Really
same exact thing.
I'm not a slow roller, so I'm, you know, social media is taking, you know, hitting the scene, and all these new things coming out in real estate, and I'm like, let's go, let's get it.
Let's combine the 2 worlds
and make it
happen. It's
so,
like, I'm telling you, this is like the same.
We couldn't do that together, and I love him to death to this day. That's still my broker, but I had to go out and do, you know, what I needed to do for my career, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Yeah, so because I always say I respect that person I work with when I first got in, is because he taught me the real estate game. And I get so many agents that don't know a comp if you pulled it out of their brain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or what to look at when they walk into a building and a property. And, you know, so I got that foundational piece.
Right.
But that innovational piece, you gotta go.
You have to go.
And if it ain't serving you, like Tiffany said, you have to not be afraid to go where you're going to get that.
Yes, and that's what I did. I bridged out on my own one day. I was like, hey, you know, I went to broker school and I passed, and I'm going to be leaving soon. And so it's been upward bound since then.
Nice. So now you're in it, you're 8, 9 years, and you're looking to take on a team. Tell me that process.
Again, one of those things that God just makes happen. Like, not really looking for a team, but, you know, you get your counterparts. My first agent was someone I went to high school with. You know, he was kind of in the midst of his career as well, looking to make a change in brokerages. And I'm like, hey, come on over, you know, whenever you're ready to transfer. And so he came, one of my high school friends, and he's still there. He's been there ever since. He's I call him my OG agent. My OG agent. And so he came, and then I think maybe not even a year after him, then somebody else came, and right now we're sitting at about 30 agents. And so it's just been, I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue.
You know what? Because some stuff ain't for you to know.
It is not.
You know, you're doing your part, and God is doing
his part, and you just gotta let it happen. And so, just doing it every day.
Gotcha. Now I'm gonna go into this because this is the part I was actually telling Tiffany before we got on. Not only do you have your own brokerage, but you started a school.
Absolutely. Yes. Look,
I have never thought about doing that. Now, if y'all see me open a school, you know I got it here first.
So that's my baby.
Okay, tell us about your baby.
It's my baby. So just mixing my 2 worlds. I've always been a hustler and an adjunct instructor. So kind of putting education and real estate together, and just actually seeing if I could do it. And so started the pieces, writing my curriculum and things right before COVID. And then, of course, you know, COVID slowed everything down. Right. But I think I picked it back up in 2021. So I started back in 2019 writing the curriculum. COVID happened, put that down, picked it back up in 2021. I took my first student in 2022. So we've had, right now, I'm probably in like my 15th or 16th class. I think we've had almost 100 students. Wow. So we're
nah, don't you not? I'm lost for words. I can't even get that out.
Yes. Are you, I don't want to get this wrong though, but are you the first black female-led real estate school in Missouri?
In the state of Missouri.
Yes, wow.
First one. First one.
The trendsetter
and you met her here. So if you're sitting there listening to this interview and you live in Missouri and you want to get your real estate license, and I know you do, because I get people from home around the area always reaching out to me asking where can they go to real estate school. This is where you can go to real estate school. What's the name of your school?
Realty Central Education Center. So we are online as well as in person. So in-person Missouri courses and online as well if you need those. And then we just introduced our first brokers course. So we're taking seasoned salespeople and turning them into brokers. So our first brokers course is January 29th.
Okay, nice. I have a question because this all sounds like it's just
I know, right?
So, but we know that owning a business with 30 different employees, right? So what are some of the struggles that you have with owning a business with so many different employees and owning multiple businesses now?
And the struggles. I would say just sometimes for me personally, just feeling like I'm not giving everybody the attention that they need. And so some people don't need it, but for me, I want to make sure that I'm not that broker that's not touching my people. I have, at one time worked for one of the franchise names, and you just feel like a number, and I don't want to get to that space. And so I just, make sure that I reach out to my agents, that we are, communicating, because I don't want them to get lost in the sauce. But for me, it's just, I think that's the toughest part.
Because you're only one person, right?
Yes.
And even if you create those systems where people, can touch you, then you can get the information out. It feels good to be able to just say, hey girl, I'm here. Hey, I haven't forgot about you. So that can be very difficult.
I'm just wondering about this, Janelle, because I learn a lot from these podcasts. And to be honest, I learn a lot from women like yourself coming on here and sharing your story, because I feel like I'm that person as well who always reaches out, always is very giving, always, trying to make sure that people know that they're cared for.
Yes.
And I have found that about 20% of the people are really gonna slap you in the face for it. No, I'm serious. I'm so serious. Like, I have really, for being that person, it feels like sometimes people are so accustomed to being treated not in a good way, that when you treat them in a good way, that they treat you like crap.
Right.
That they don't, that they then turn around and it's kind of like, are you serious?
That's very true, actually.
And so
it's been done to me in this space.
Yeah, I mean, I have found that. So what have you encountered that? And if you have, what have you done to overcome that? Because you're obviously still the same person that's still that giving.
Yeah. So for me, I do understand that you're not going to like everybody that you work with, even if they work for you, with you, under you, or however you want to term it. So you just be who you are, and you can't let anybody, steal from your shine or take you off of your square. So, sometimes it doesn't work out, and I'm okay with that. But I will say, that I have had, much success with my agents, and I haven't had, I can count on one hand how many people have left because they're just disgruntled, or they just don't want to be here or don't want to be a part of it. Because people normally, are attracted to you because you kind of exuding the same energy.
And that's the part right there.
Might not
they don't align
in the first place.
They shouldn't have even been there. And I think that was one of the biggest leadership lessons that I had to learn when I started taking agents under me, is because I was like, I want everybody to win. Look, I've done this. I'm giving you the piece of the pie. And what I started to notice was some of them start winning, like,
of course.
And the ones that was winning, they never left me. They're still with me right now.
Yes.
And then the ones that left, they wasn't never winning. And I had one of them even tell me, I joined you like they did me a favor,
Right.
and they never even did anything. Right. So I think with that 20% that Tiffany is talking about, once you start working with so many people and seeing your success rate when you're giving a good seed, right? So if you give me a seed that's already malfunctioned, no matter what kind of soil I'm going to put it in, it's not going to become its best because it came to me already in the space that it wasn't supposed to be.
That's a good one.
So it ain't my job to fix the seed. Now, if the seed want to go get itself fixed and then come back to this great soil and start winning like everybody else, the soil will still be waiting for them.
But one thing I've learned is that even when, you do a ton of interviews with people coming in and exploring the brokerage and trying to decide if that's where they want to be, I've told people before, I don't think that you will fit with the company culture. Like what you're looking for is probably something I can't give you. And I'm okay with saying it.
Yep.
I'm okay because I have had some people that, they've come in and you like, no.
This ain't and quickly, right?
Right away, like, we're not.
I interview agents too, and I actually prepared this this package for them, right? Because it helps you too, right? Because you're putting a lot of energy into them once they get there. And my package is called Preparing for a Real Estate Interview, because you need to know what questions to ask to see if it's a cultural fit. You can tell instantly because you know what to look for. Right. But when they're new, they often don't know what to look for. And I 100% believe that every agent is not the agent to work for me. No. And I believe that this space may help you grow, but this person may need this. So I want to make sure you understand the questions you need to be asking so that you can find the best place for you. Right. So
yeah, and those are things like when we're in the real estate school, the new agents that are training, what should I be looking for in a brokerage? And so just helping them understand that, because every brokerage is not for every salesperson. So yeah, that's a big deal.
It's a really big deal because they don't even know what to look for, which is understandable because we didn't. Right?
We did not
know what to look for.
One thing that I wanted to bring in here too, because I teased it in the beginning and I get a little old and forget stuff. So she works a lot in the community, and also this idea of the realtors. So we have the realtor in real estate, and we have the realtors, and I learned this at her training for her staff. So if you can talk a little bit about the difference between the realtor and the realtors.
Yes, absolutely. So realtors, the Realtors of Metropolitan St. Louis, we are the local chapter of NAREB, which is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. So I think it was 1947, if I'm not mistaken. That is when that entity was created, because at one time us black real estate agents, we couldn't be or become realtors. So typically when we don't have a space, we create our own.
Exactly.
So NAREB and the Realtors of Metropolitan St. Louis, near and dear to my heart, because our primary focus is black home ownership, increasing black home ownership and generational wealth. And so all of the topics and community activities and things that we do are centered around just that, increasing black home ownership and also generational wealth.
Okay.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
So this event that Tiffany met you, what type of event was that?
It was a retreat.
A retreat.
Yes.
The retreat.
Yes, we went on a SRG Stowers Realty Group retreat, and so I took some of my agents. Everybody didn't participate, but I think I took 16 or 17 agents, and we all stayed in this big house, this retreat. We all had to spend the night together. We all had to sleep together, eat together, and mesh together. And so of course it was a team building exercise, but again, you're as good as your team. And so just getting them accustomed to working with each other, relying on each other. We had speakers in, and that's how I met your husband. We had a commercial lending piece. I had a luxury agent flew in from Atlanta. We had the Realtors president came in to introduce Realtors to some of my agents, and so it was, and we had motivational speaker, one of my line sisters. She was actually the principal at the school here that had the school shooting. And so she's a great motivational speaker, and she came in to round us out that last day that we were there, to send us home with a motivational piece.
If you want to be a real estate agent, or you looking for a real estate home in Missouri, I'm about to join.
Seriously, because you do not get this as a real estate agent.
You do not. And one of the things I love about the Black Boss Lady platform, as Tiffany said, she learned so much. And I'm going to always believe in giving people flowers when I get the... If you on my team, we don't have a retreat coming. Because it's making me step my game up hearing that, you know. Yeah. I do coaching every Thursday, but I never thought about to do a retreat.
Right, and
but you did didn't you take your team out on the yacht though?
I did.
Yeah, so that was nice.
I forgot about that.
So I did going on the yacht.
Right.
They going on the yacht. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, she took her team. So you gonna be there? You got.
She's reminding me to do it again.
These are levels. These are levels.
Yes, absolutely. And when you pour into people, and the people that work for you or work in partner, because I call them my partners, right? Because at the end of the day, when you're an agent, you're an independent contractor. But I say you're my partner because I'm here to help you get success. And it sounds like that's one of the same things you do. And when you pour into people and they take it, they really do get to grow and start expanding into who they're capable of being. And I think as Black boss ladies, like, we understand the importance of your number one asset is people. You can't do anything without a person. People. You can only go so far by yourself. Yes. And even when you're trying to do something, I need a graphic design. I need this. Like, people are your greatest asset. And when you move away from that, that's usually when trouble starts.
I agree. And the good thing is, like, seeing people flourish that have worked with you or under your tutelage, and you see them fly. I mean, that's, you see them mature into coming in as a brand new agent, so now they're an experienced agent. And, most of the time they don't need you, and you have to call a check on them and say, hey, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while.
That's exactly what happens.
They don't need me anymore.
I'm trying to tell you, that's usually what happens. But I think while we just do it easily, right, and it's a part of our nature and who we are, I think we don't take enough credit that we are leaders who create leaders. Because not all leaders are creating leaders. Some of them are too intimidated to anybody to do a deal bigger than you.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, like getting with a leader like yourself, and you're literally pouring into people to become a leader, that's something you got to pat yourself on the back.
Oh, wow. I never thought about it like that.
Everybody not into that.
Right. Because that's so true, because I've worked with, a lot of people like that.
That don't want to see you fly.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. And then, and it's interesting, and I don't want to keep bring a man in here, but since I met her through Anwar, it's interesting because that's one of the things that he has always said, that companies, you really should be trying to promote the people that are under you. Yes. And if companies see that you're not, the people that are under you aren't moving forward,
you should be demoted.
That's a problem with your
You should be demoted as a leader. Yeah. Because you haven't created a leader. What have you done?
Exactly.
You kept your people at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Nobody, I don't
do that. Exactly.
You want people to fly. And that's the part I say, you have to give yourself credit for that.
Yeah.
Because not all leaders want people to fly.
Yeah. And that would probably influence their growth as well.
It is.
Because I would think that would stagnate you if you are waiting on everybody else to fail. I mean, or expecting them to fail. So I ain't blocking my blessings.
Don't block none of them.
I agree. I totally agree. But speaking about that now, so we talked about you starting the school, and as the first Black female to own a real estate school in the state of Missouri. Missouri. Right. In some areas, that's what it's called, right?
Yes.
What type of trials did you go through getting this school together?
You know what? Just that curriculum piece and getting the information. Because it's, of course, it's not readily available.
You're
picking up the phone like, hey, calling because I'm trying to open up a school, and what do I do? It's like, here's a form. And it's like, okay, you gave me the form, but what else goes with this? And so for quite a while, I was searching for the curriculum, thinking like it's got to be some database out here that's gonna, you know, provide me with this, or, you know, and so just kind of pulling those pieces and extracting the process from, you know, the entity. But then, you know, once I got it, I was gone with it and I understood everything. But, you know, sent in the application got rejected. I sent in something that was handwritten one time. I mean, I filled out the application with, they said no, we need it in pen and we need it to be mailed. You can't fax or email it. So
let's talk about that though.
Time
let's talk about that though, because while we are in real estate and it's amazing and we see it in other people, we have to acknowledge something that you said at the beginning. There wasn't a space for us in here, right? And I feel like that sometimes those spaces are definitely still kept. Like, we don't want you to have a school. We don't want you to get in that space, because when you start looking at real estate is the cornerstone of wealth.
Absolutely.
So if I let too many of you that look like you come in here, you're going to open up a school and teach more people that look like you to be in this space, that is threatening the system as a whole. And like you said, there's nowhere to go and grab the information. So sometimes they be hoping you don't keep looking.
Yeah, and you create, I'm a firm believer, if there is no table, guess what you got to do? You got to make one.
Make your own table.
You'll hear me say that all the time. Well, I can't find her. I can't do. Make it. Create it. Create your own space. Create your own podcast. Create your own real estate school, your own building, whatever you got to do.
So now you got to go out and teach other black people how to create schools. Myself going to be the first student.
Oh, okay. Look, state by state.
It's going to be a part of every person we have on here to deal with real estate. She goes state by state. Your student.
Yes, absolutely. Because I would love to come over into the Illinois space.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
so when they rejected your application, what did you do? Like, how did you feel like, oh, I ain't gonna be able to do this? Like, no.
I ain't one of them people.
You ain't one of them people.
You wouldn't be where you are. It's like, okay, so this was rejected because of what? Okay, so let me do it the other way. And let me, you know, send this and send that. And so after a while, they're probably like, this lady kind of crazy.
Because you took a few years, right? You said you picked it up.
Just in time.
Put it down, pick it up. And then the world was going through a crazy point in 2020.
Because I wanted to do face-to-face classes. Like, I wanted to have in-person classes.
It is very different.
Yeah. So we have an online platform, but we do more in person than we do online.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So what's next? What's next for you?
You know what? I feel like I'm in this space right now where I am ceasing opportunities because we're not getting any younger. So I literally just signed a contract with one of the schools here to offer my real estate courses to their seniors. The seniors that are turning 18 years old, we will be in the Confluence Academies, which is a charter school here in St. Louis, and we actually start our first class next month. So they gave us a trimester to train some of their students, and hopefully we turn those students into real estate
let's
agents.
talk about this because my niece actually reached out to me. She's graduating senior down in Tennessee, and she's like, Tizzy, I don't want to go to college. I just want to get my real estate license. And being a person that has the background of education, I'm like, well, maybe you need to just go take some general eds or do something, you know. In Missouri, because some states too require you to be an age limit. So in Missouri, you can actually get your license at 18.
18. You have to be 18 to sit for the exam. Okay. So yeah, with the partnership that we have with this school, we had to, you know, be clear that we can only take your latter 17-year-olds that are about to turn 18. But it was part of one of their, I don't know what the program is, but they're trying to influence students to go into trades and other professions.
Right. So
they're not.
It's career and technical education.
They have been starting because I used to teach at a community college as well, and so we worked with St. Louis City School District, Jennings School District, and what they are trying. They have several different programs. So they have the trades that they're pushing people into, and then if you do want to go to college, they also have programs where they will pay while you're in high school. You'll graduate with your associate's degree.
Absolutely.
And the school district, the dual enrollment program allows them to do it. So I'm so happy that they are extending this to real estate too, because Boy,
I just want to say, if I would have
like,
knew this,
oh my goodness,
if I would have knew it, I even gave myself, not even high school, I said if I would have knew what I knew in undergrad.
At 25,
Like, man, this was like graduating from college and undergrad. I would have been so much further. So the fact that you're introducing this to them at 18 is...
So I'm excited. So we're going to check it out. And, you know, hopefully we turn some of those, I'd say we're sprinkling real estate agents throughout Missouri. But I would love, you know, for those babies to walk out and have their real estate license at the age of 18. That's amazing.
I actually was in a training. I'm always in a training. I can't remember. But they gave some kind of statistics, and they said the person that's going to make the most money in real estate hasn't even began real estate yet. Because of technology and social media. Like, they're going to be able to go so much further than they were before. And that may be some of your 18-year-olds. Because they know how to use the internet and brand on a different level.
Wait a minute. And moving beyond that, because that just gave me an idea, because, you know, they're selling land in the metaverse. So now if you put these kids that are born in this digital age, give them a real estate license and set them free to sell land in the metaverse and purchase land in the metaverse. Like, what could that generation do? That's amazing.
It is. That's what I said. I don't even think we've seen the heights that this can go, but you're already planting seeds to help that generation go.
I'm so excited.
So let me ask you this. You become a salesperson, you become a broker, you begin a team, now you got the real estate school, now you're going in with the 18-year-olds. Was there a mentor, a guide, or somebody that you went and got help from, or is this all you?
I would hate to say it's self-made, but I mean, you know, people influence you along the way. So certainly my broker that I came underneath, you know, he was very pivotal in, you know, giving me the information that I needed. But, you know, just being surrounded by, you know, your everyday peers. So I can't really pinpoint, you know, one person specifically, but, you know, just being around supportive people or just planting yourself around people that kind of have the same, you know, I'm big on energy, the same energy.
Energy is real.
Yeah.
Energy
so, you know, putting
real.
yourself in those places, being intentional about, you know, who you're dealing with, you know, who you're talking to, you know, who might be looking at you as influential or mentor. So
I wonder about that too, because when you were talking, you said you had 30 agents. It did remind me of that first real boom that I can remember here in St. Louis around 2004, 2005, and it was a lady on
Mary Johnson.
Exactly.
I don't know the story.
I mean, I don't know her story, but she was everything.
Yes,
she was everywhere. She owned Mary Johnson here in St. Louis, right around that 2005, 2006, when the real estate boom was going. Yes. She was everywhere.
I always said I want to meet her.
Okay, that's what I said. So when you said the 30 real estate agents, I was like, she's like a new Mary one.
I remember. So I was young. That's when I came into the business in 2005, and I remember her name, her face was plastered all over St. Louis. She was into development, just all sorts of things, and so I do remember her.
Amazing. Yeah. That's a seed though, planted. I remember I saw it because I'm in the Chicago market, and I remember I used to see, we lived in Bronzeville, and Bronzeville is is going through gentrification. Okay, because it's right there by the lake. It's on the south side, and in its earlier days, a lot of influential black people lived in the area.
Ida B. Wells. Who's in our picture. Part of our thing. She lived in Bronzeville.
Gotcha. So I used to walk around, and I used to see this lady named Michelle Brown. Her name, and her face wasn't there. It was just her name was everywhere. And I remember me and Ricky were getting food by a place, and I was like, I want to be like this lady who named all over Bronzeville. Her name is everywhere, but I think those are seeds that are planted. And what happened was, I actually got to meet Michelle. I worked at properties with her for a while, and she would give us opportunities to do open houses in those same luxury places. I learned a lot from her in a very, very short amount of time of like luxury and branding and marketing. So
Okay.
I didn't stay long at that brokerage, but sometimes you don't got to stay a long place to see that little seed. And it was like, you manifested that. I was like, I want to be like that lady right there. My name ain't all over yet, but having the pleasure of working with her for a hot second.
Yes, that's what Mary One was in this St. Louis
She
market.
really
Oh my
was.
goodness.
And you said that she did development. I noticed on yours that you're from Ferguson and you're working with Ferguson Developments, or
Yeah, well, I'm part of the Ferguson Neighborhood Improvement Board.
Okay.
And so, we have funding to do different projects throughout the Ferguson community. And so, right now we're dealing with like a tree project, like getting some of the dead trees out of Ferguson, but just, making homeowners know what's available to them, creating programs to keep the community, beautiful. Ferguson had the wrong spotlight on it some years back, and so we are trying to reclaim and reestablish, the Ferguson name.
okay, nice.
How do you? All this is great. All this is amazing. How do you do self-care? Because if you're doing volunteer work, you got agents, you got the school, what do you do for you?
Well, I don't answer my phone before I shower. So that's my golden rule. Like, I am not going to attend to anybody until I attend to to myself. So if that phone rings before my shower, it'll have to go to voicemail. But I travel. I'm a shopaholic. I like nice things. I eat very well. So I definitely take care of myself.
You take care of yourself.
Definitely.
Awesome. Amazing. I like that. Don't answer the phone before that.
I need to stop scrolling before I get out of the bed. 'Cause I'm in my email. This stuff ain't even that important.
Right. Yes.
Gotcha. Have you, on the journey, because you seem very, very positive and big on energy. I'm really big on energy. Seriously. And you've done a lot of amazing things. Have you ever lacked, like, man, I may not be able to do this? Or, like, deal with imposter syndrome in any kind of way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. Tell me about that. How
Even
do you
at this
overcome
level?
it? Because I be trying, like, tell me.
A lot of self-talk. You try. Well, for me, I try not to compare myself to people, but of course, that's hard to do. I mean, that's just the world we live in. But you go home, you cry, you cover your head up, you put your big girl panties on, you come back out and you do it again, because you can't stay in that space. So I'm not. I tell people I'm gonna be the prettiest thing. I'm gonna be 80 years old with one fingernail long, because you won't see me break. Like, I might break when I'm at home in the closet or underneath the cover, but you do what you have to do to make it happen. And so I have down days all the time where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna start over tomorrow.
Yeah,
you can get beat up in real estate.
Yeah,
like you can have
beat up. I be feeling like sometimes I got hit by a bus. I'm like, you do not know what happened today. These people, I've been talked to as if I was less than, because it's like, I have this many years in the business, or who do you think to be in this neighborhood because I'm in like a luxury neighborhood?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, like, so I've been in, yes, you can take some days where you get beat up.
You get beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely have to shake it off. Like, if you're a person who does not have thick skin, then this entrepreneur world,
it ain't for you.
It ain't for you.
Well, let me say this. I don't want to say that, because I don't want anybody to think that it's not for them. What it means is you just got to build that thick skin, because I think over time, like with you guys, all those beat ups, beat downs, everybody has them, and it just, in a lot of ways, it's bad, but it makes you stronger. Yeah. Like, you come back like, okay, I done had that. So when somebody else come with that, it's like, oh, okay. That again, you know what I'm saying? I think
then I don't know. I think some people just ain't got it though.
I kind of agree with you on that one.
I mean, and you know what? It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
I think that you evolve.
I think you can evolve. I really do. I think you can evolve. I think your journey takes you somewhere, and I think sometimes people's journey take them to the point where this ain't it.
Yes.
Like, you need to go somewhere else. And this is the thing. I've been in spaces where I'm like, this ain't it for me.
Right. Yeah.
I have to go somewhere else. So you have to know when, like, which fight is your fight?
Yeah.
Because I have a friend like that, and he's like, Julia, that's not for me. But he is one of the best workers. He will work overtime, undertime, and once you're out here in the entrepreneur journey, you know that is the goal.
Yep.
That's a goal person. I want that person with me forever. Like, don't ever try to leave me, you know. So that's very, very important. But going back to what I was asking you about the internal struggles, the more we interview women on this podcast, it has helped me to stand more in my God gift, because I thought, well, the imposter thing is going to eventually go away. But after interviewing women like yourself, I realized it's just part of the package.
It's part of the package.
And like you said, doing that internal work and showing up every day, and you're not going to see me break. But it happens, and it's okay. Yeah. And that doesn't mean I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. So thanks for sharing that.
One fingernail. You find this 80-year-old.
One fingernail.
Right. So I would ask you if you could share 3 to 4 tips to our listeners on how to achieve success.
3 to 4 tips. Oh, wow. You know what? I would say to run your own race.
Oh, wow. Can you say that one more time?
And a little bit loud. Race. Because one thing that I admire the most about just people in general is that you're good at what you're good at. So if I was doing your hair, it wouldn't work out, because that's not what I do. Okay? If I had to, be a chef in a restaurant, guess what? Your food probably won't taste the same way. But when I do what I do in Janelle's lane, it works. And so I love to see people just run their own race. I would say you definitely have to, sometimes when we talk about running our own race, it's okay to slow down. And I'm learning that at the age that I am now.
She dropping bombs.
On the other side of these 40s, I'm learning to just slow down. Like, Janelle, you do not always have to go. Because sometimes I find myself trying to fill space. I'm like, okay, well, Thursday, I got a free schedule. Like, what else should I put there?
Just chill.
Nothing. Just chill out. Yeah. And one time I didn't even know how to do that. Like, how do you just chill, just sit on the couch and just watch?
I got a friend that used to always like, I need to teach you. She said she got a PhD in relaxing, and she needs to teach me how to do the same thing.
That's tough for us.
I don't know how to do that.
So running the race, slowing down, just taking time for oneself. When you are slowing down and just living in that moment, just like, okay, well, today is a good day. Yesterday was tough. Tuesday was tough, but today's a good day. So just, living in that space.
I love it. I love it.
I like that
too. Y'all better listen to it.
Please do, because this was a very insightful interview, and I really enjoyed it. And I really love that you came out here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Janelle, you are a Black Boss Lady.
And your legacy will live on the Black Boss Ladies platform.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us on the BBL Platform Podcast, the place where legacies live. We hope you will join us on our next inspirational journey to success. Be sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our show. For more information, please visit our website at theBBLplatform.com.